Good morning, Carmen Mayell here at the home of the Tampa Bay Rays, Tropicana Field in Tampa, Florida, St. Pete, Florida, excuse me. Actually, I ended up in Tampa this morning at, I think, the corporate headquarters or something. Wrong address for Lyft. Anyhow, we got a great day today at the Play event, promoting a lifetime of activity among youth. As you know, an initiative of the Professional Baseball Athletic Trainer Society, and we're so grateful for the work that they are doing as a society and as individual teams across the country and the major league parks this season. And this morning, always one of my favorite events to come to Tropicana Field with Ron Porterfield and Ryan, and we have a guest today as well, Jason Johnson, who used to play in the major leagues. So I wanted to just take a moment with these guys, and they are on a busy schedule. So for them to do this, the Promoting a Lifetime of Activity Among Youth event is really a privilege, and it's just a pleasure watching them do it. And I've got to give a shout out to these guys. Last year, there was a glitch in some of the kids that were supposed to be here, ended up with just a very few number of kids. And I thought, okay, this is a wrap. They're just going to cancel this thing, because that's what I would do. No. These guys gave a gold-plated signature tour, clubhouse. They took them to the back in the training rooms. It was the coolest thing to watch. And what it said to me, Ron and Paul, was just your commitment goes more than just to an event. You just have a heart for kids and to parlay the influence of Major League Baseball on behalf of their betterment. So I appreciate it. I know that this is a tremendous representation of what PBATS is all about, and it's just a pleasure to be with you. And they even had one of the players there that stepped away for a minute or two, came back with 3 autographed bats. I tried to snag one, but the kids got them. But anyhow, so this morning I also have a pleasure of here with Jason Johnson. Jason played Major League Baseball, started out his career here at Tampa Bay, worked with Ron at the time. And I wanted to focus a little bit today because one of the, I think, high points today as far as this Play event in particular is that we've been able to incorporate some kids with Down syndrome, working with the National Down Syndrome Society, and we appreciate their partnership in this way. But it's the whole issue of disabilities, of wanting to encourage young men and women who may be facing challenges in life, facing certain challenges that sometimes, maybe years ago, you would have said, Major League Sports or sports in general just isn't in the cards for you, so to speak. Not so. And Jason actually here is a testament to that. I want to get Paul still in the picture here. I want to make sure we're not classing anybody out. Jason tell us a little bit about your background. You were one of the first players to play with an insulin pump. Am I correct on that? Come on in, Jason. You talk more importantly than I mean myself do.
I have type 1 diabetes. I had it since I was 11 years old. And I started on the insulin pump, and I used to have to take it off when I was pitching. So I was going on the field, I would take it off, and I would check my blood sugar in between innings just to make sure everything's okay. Well, I contacted Major League Baseball about it and asked if there was a possibility that I could wear it on my belt during games, which is kind of unheard of because most pitchers aren't allowed to do anything that can mess with the hitter's eyes, timing, all this stuff. They're big babies. And so, basically. And so I had to send them a video. They said, absolutely, you can wear it. So I wore it on the back of my belt, and I was able to keep it, diabetes intact and keep it really under control when I was pitching. So it's definitely a positive thing, and I hope that other kids and adults alike, when they start playing sports, they were able to do the same thing.
Carmen Mayell here again at the home of the Tampa Bay Rays, Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, with Ron Porterfield and Ryan, one of the Paul Harkin, I beg your pardon, Paul Harkin, assistant athletic trainer, and Jason Johnson, former MLB player, talking about Jason's actually one of the first players who were an insulin pump while he pitched. But let's talk in general about you men work with a variety of players. You and Paul, you were talking this morning about how it's not just working with them when they are injured, but keeping them from getting injuries. How have you men seen the field progress, let's say, over the last few years? Have there been any emphases that have changed? Obviously, we have inclusion more so with people with certain disabilities. We've seen other players that have had challenges that you kind of go, wow, they're playing at an incredible level, still what they have. What are you seeing? What are the trends out there in this realm that you're seeing that you're encouraging to you?
Well, aside from Jason Johnson, we had Sam Fold, who was a player who didn't wear an insulin pump. He was an outfielder, so it probably would have been a little bit tougher
Sure.
for him to wear one, but another type 1 diabetic. So, but yes, obviously you're seeing a lot more. I mean, just like at our event today, and including the children with Down syndrome. And one of the stars of our event today was Chase, who plays baseball on 3 different teams. His mother said his mother is a team mother, and it really it helps you understand that people that have all types of disabilities can participate and really amaze you at their ability to do different things. And maybe, some of them are never going to get to a level that Jason or say a Sam Fold got to, but they can definitely bring light into any situation, and they bring their own special qualities with that. So we were happy to have them here today. I think we had five children.
I wish I'd caught some footage of you. First year I remember here, and I remember you out there in the field and going, this guy is so involved with the kids. And you're putting them through regular stuff. You're giving them some latitude, but some of the older ones, you're holding them their feet to the fire to make sure they're doing the drills right, the agility drills out here, and appreciate your role.
Yeah, I mean, we have such a variety of ages that come to the play campaign here at Tropicana Field that you kind of have to cater to each of them, and some you have to kind of walk through and baby step them through, and then the others you want to make sure that they're getting something out of it too. The ones that are more skilled or older, we want to make sure that we're being a little bit more technical with them. But it's not about whether they're doing the drills right or wrong or whatever. It's just about being active, and that's the message that we're trying to convey.
Now, Paul, you've been here at the Rays for 12 years, assistant trainer, and Ron, you've been here 12 or 13th year.
We've both been here about 20 years.
About 20 years total, that's right. On
the major league level.
Boy, I just demoted you guys. I don't know.
No, 15 and
Where
12.
would that get me on the front? I'd be in trouble, Jason. All right. Sorry about that.
I mean, I think the whole concept is changing from disabilities to abilities. And so rather than look at it as what you can do, what can you do? I had the pleasure of watching Jason go through, when I was around him, he was young. So not only was he developing as a player, he was developing in his life skills, so how to take care of himself. And I think with that, he did a great job and lasted a long time, defied the odds of just a normal individual without diabetes, outdid the expectancy of what a normal person would go through. Not saying he's abnormal, but just the challenge that he had to face on a daily basis to keep himself out there.
Let's talk about for a minute as we wrap up here. What would you challenge? If you have parents out here that eventually see this, perhaps you have a child with Down syndrome, maybe diabetes type 1, type 2, whatever. What would we want to say to them? What would you want to say to them to encourage them on a path? I mean, obviously, what is the percentage of people that make it to the MLB level? I mean, it's minuscule.
Very minuscule.
But in the process of encouraging them on the daily, day-to-day routine of activity and so on, what would you want to encourage them? How would you encourage a parent with a child like that?
Spend time with them. Spend time and answer questions. Be patient with them. Get them active. And try to teach them things at a young age that they can carry with them throughout their life. Develop good habits that they won't know any different other than to expound on those habits.
Don't tell them they can't do something. That's the thing. That's the very important thing is that if you have a disability, you tell them they can't do something, then they're going to believe it. My parents always told me when I was younger, Jason, just because you have diabetes doesn't mean you can't achieve whatever you want to in life. And that stuck with me. And so I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be a baseball player, I'm going to be a baseball player. I don't care if I have diabetes. I will manage it. And so I think that's a very important message that you should tell anybody, but especially somebody who has a disability, is that if they're not different from somebody else, they can achieve whatever they want to.
Absolutely.
Just remember that ability transcends challenges. Don't look at what you can't do, but look at what abilities that you have, and you'll be able to find your niche in life. It doesn't have to be being a Major League Baseball player. It just has to be using your abilities to get past the challenges that are created throughout life.
Well, I just want to appreciate Ron. It's always a pleasure. Paul, thank you so much for your part. Thank you, Jason. A great pleasure being with you today and meet you. And appreciate the work of this team and just the play campaign and the involvement of PBATS and, as Paul pointed out, the ATC campaign, Ability Transcends Challenges. So thank you, gentlemen, as always, and I can't wait to get back next year as well, if they'll let me. So,
Thank you, Carmen.
thank you very
Appreciate
much,
your
gentlemen.
time.
Okay, and thanks for your time. Okay,
Got it.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Signing out here from Tropicana Field. Thanks for watching.